Hello and welcome to episode 41 of the Mindful Knitter podcast. My name is Claire and I am your host. If you are new, welcome. I'm so glad to have you here. We primarily talk about yarny things, knitting and crochet, also yarn spinning and yarn dyeing. For today, we've got some spinning, some knitting, and I will be talking about some crochet as well. It's kind of a traditional sort of vlogcast format where I talk about finished objects, works in progress, upcoming projects, and then anything yarn fiber related that kind of comes up. We chat about that a little bit too. And then every once in a while there's something sort of life related that maybe we touch on as well. And if you're a returning viewer, welcome back. I'm so happy to have you hang out with me week after week. If you want to look into any of the information about any of the dyers or the designers or the patterns or etc., that's all in the description down below the video, as is all of my social media contact information. I am on Ravelry as Mindful Knitter Pod, and I'm on Instagram as the.mindfulknitter. And my email is clairethemindfulknitter@gmail.com, which is really long, but it made sense. I think that's all to kind of have for the intro. I'm coming to you from the southeast of the United States, and it is the beginning of March 2024. It is still kind of wintry outside, but it's starting to be springy. I've been doing lots of gardening lately. I guess I'll just talk about that while I'm grabbing my projects to share with you guys. I don't have any finished objects, but I do have some works in progress. But part of the reason that I don't have any finished objects is because I've been doing a lot of gardening. I have a bunch of daffodils, like so many daffodils coming up in my garden. My tulips are starting to come up too, which is fun. I've got crocus. I just planted some pansies and violas today, so my garden is doing pretty well for a spring garden. I also did a whole lot of cleaning up in the garden last weekend, which was a whole endeavor, and I was covered in bruises. I'm still kind of covered in bruises, and it's been like a week. And my hamstrings were really unhappy, and it was hard to bend over for 4 days afterwards. So apparently I really went at it. I didn't really realize. But I did lots of pruning and cleaning up of stuff. I made sure to leave leaves and things, quite a few leaves kind of untouched, because I didn't want to disturb any bugs that might be hibernating in the leaves. So I was kind of careful about that, but did a lot of cleaning up. There's already weeding to be done too. It's astonishing how many weeds make it through the cold winter months. But yeah, and speaking of, this is like kind of an acquisition. I can't remember if I shared this with you guys last time, but it's sort of garden related. So while I'm talking about gardening, look at this adorable pouch that I got. Did I share this with you a couple episodes ago? I can't remember, but I saw it as I was coming down the stairs to film and remembered it. And look at this sweet little garden gnome. This is from Deluxe Trading Company, which is mostly like an outdoor gardening kind of supply company, but this is a great size pouch. And it's a really sturdy canvas with like a really sturdy zipper. And I can definitely hold a small project like socks or something in this. And look at this cute gnome. He's ready. He is ready to work in the garden. So cute. So I really wanted to share that with you guys. If I've already shown you before, sorry for the repetition, but he's really cute. So my works in progress to share with you guys, we have this sweater still in progress. The main reason why I don't have any finished objects to share with you, I think this might be the very first episode. Yeah, I think this is the first episode ever where I haven't had a finished object to share with you, which is so bizarre to me. But here we are. I don't have one. And the main reason is because I was participating in Spin Together, which is a week-long spinning competition / event. And you're trying to spin as much yarn as you possibly can in a week. that was really fun. So I have all of my yarn that I spun up that week to share with you guys today. If you want more information though about Spin Together and you want to hear me talk about it more, see my spinning process, all of that, the video is up on the channel. It went up last Monday. So I have a whole video completely dedicated to the 2024 Spin Together event. So I'll share that with you guys in a little bit, but right now I'll share with you what I was working on when I wasn't spinning yarn. This is my Weekender by Andrea Mowry. And if you have been following along with this little saga of this yarn, hopefully you will celebrate with me to see that it is in mostly sweater form at this point. Hooray, and congratulations to us all for that. So I am still not convinced that that first skein of yarn wasn't haunted or cursed or something. It might have been haunted because what was the saga? I swatched with it like 5 times, and then when I was swatching with it and when I first started knitting with it, this sweater, when I finally decided on this yarn for this sweater, it broke like 12 times, I think it was. So the yarn broke 12 times, which is so weird. It shouldn't have, but it did. It was very frayed in multiple places. It stopped doing that about 1/4 of the way through the skein, but it took like, that's how long it took to stop breaking and being frayed everywhere. So really odd. And then I cast on the wrong number of stitches, and I got through that whole first skein and then a little bit of the second skein before I realized I had cast on the wrong amount of stitches, and it totally thrown off not just the sizing of the garment, but also you can see it has this little like center seam right here that's supposed to go right through the center of the front and the back of the sweater. Well, that was askew because I had cast on like too many stitches, 10 stitches too many to like one side. So then I had to rip everything back to the beginning and start all over again, which I was hopeful that would be the end of my struggles, but I didn't sage the yarn like I said I was going to do. I was kind of joking, but maybe I should have, because I got almost through that whole skein of yarn and then I spilled tea onto the sweater, and it was black tea, and it definitely stained. So then I had to do like a 3-step stain treatment process to get this stain out of the sweater that I was still knitting. And it sort of worked. It mostly worked. Thankfully, this is a Tweedy yarn, so you can't really tell, but you can kind of see like in some, I don't know if that's going to show up at all, but like here and here, I don't know if that shows up at all on camera, but thankfully, the giant, like it was like that big of a, so like that big of a spot was on the front of the sweater towards the middle of this tea stain, and I mostly got it out, and thankfully the tea spilled on the wrong side of the sweater, so on the right side it was not quite as obvious. It was still definitely there, but less so than on the back. So by the time that I finished all of the stain treatment, like it was okay. This was an ordeal. Once I got through the first skein of yarn, everything was fine. When I started with the second skein of yarn, everything was very smooth, so I'm convinced that the first skein of yarn was haunted. But now we've got it in mostly sweater form. The body is complete. The shoulder ribbing and the shoulder shaping is complete, and now all I have to do is put some of these stitches onto, I guess I'll probably do waist yarn, and then bind off the neck, and then I think it's a 3 needle bind off for the shoulders. I'll need to look at the pattern, but I'm pretty sure that that's it. And this is the front of the sweater. I'm making it cropped, as you can see, and I'm really liking it. I really like how this tweed is knitting up in this reverse stockinette with its cute little center seam. I think it's really sweet. I'll show you the picture of the sweater if you're not familiar. So this is the Weekender by Andrea Mowry of Drea Renee Knits. Very popular pattern. You can kind of see and get a bigger picture of that so you can kind of see better. Yeah, so drop shoulder, very cozy, kind of like a looser kind of construction, lots of positive ease. Because there's so much positive ease built into the sweater, I am knitting the size 2. Normally I would knit the size 3 of most things, but I did not want as much positive ease as she has in here, so I'm knitting the size 2, but I am doing, I did allow for like, I did several more rows to make my, the opening for my arm a little bit wider. So I knit more, just a little bit more here after I separated for the sleeves so that I would give myself a little bit more arm room because I don't want my sleeves to be too tight. The sleeves do look not really fitted, but they look like they have basically no ease in the pattern. So I want to make sure that the sleeves are not going to be like tight on me because I don't have small arms. And I want it to be comfortable. This is a worsted weight sweater. It's knit mostly on US 9 needles, which is 5.5 millimeters. So it knits up fairly quickly. I honestly thought it would knit up quicker than it does, but I don't know. It does knit up pretty quickly. I think that it's deceptive for me how quickly it knits up because there are these fake ladybugs like literally everywhere. You know those like intruder ladybugs? They aren't real ladybugs. They're like orange and they do actually bite. They're everywhere. Oh my goodness. Maybe I should do something about that. Anyway, they're like flying around and buzzing and like they're kind of distracting. They're like really everywhere. I'm looking at maybe 30 of them right now. Huh. Yeah, I should probably look into that. Anyway, because if they can get in, other things can probably get in. Yeah, so this is, oh, it probably knits up quicker than what I am feeling it does because I had to re-knit so much of it. I would have been done with it by now if I hadn't had to do that. So, but I like it. The yarn that I'm using, and so let's see, I used almost 2 full skeins to get this. It's cropped because I wanted to make a cropped version. I have this much left. So that's going to go into my bind offs. And then I have another skein for the sleeves, and whatever I can't get with this for the sleeves, I'll do like little accent cuff things with this guy, which I think kind of like goes kind of nicely. And I'll just probably add, if I have to end up doing that, then I'll just add like a little bit to the bottom hem to kind of pull it all together. This is the Knit Picks Upcycle Alpaca Blend Worsted Weight in the Celeste colorway. Very soft and squishy. This is the Universal Yarn Deluxe Worsted Tweed Superwash. Let's see, it's 218 yards and 100 grams. And the colorway is Cloud Blue. And I think that this is a really nice yarn for, I don't know, just being like cost conscientious because it's like $10, $11 a skein. So $10, $11 for 100 grams. And I'm going to be using 3 of these for its full sweater. So it's about $30 for me to hand knit a sweater. And it's a wool sweater, which is pretty great. So I would not say it's the softest yarn. This is probably one of the less, yeah, this is not the softest. It does not say merino, it just says wool, but it's really not bad. Like, it's perfectly comfortable against the skin. It's just not super soft, but that's okay. It's very wearable. Yeah, and I think it is going to be very lovely. I don't think I have anything else to share with you guys about this. It's just been a trial and a half. But I really love how it's working up, and I think it's going to be lovely and useful when it's done. And I imagine that I am going to wear it a lot. This is filling a gap in my wardrobe where I wanted a cropped sweater that was kind of like a neutral color that I could wear to work or out with friends, that I could wear with jeans or dress it up. I could wear it with dresses. I could wear it with whatever. And I didn't want it to be super heavy because I've knit several cropped sweaters and I have a couple of store-bought cropped sweaters, but they're all really heavy and too warm, and I needed another option for when I don't need that much insulation. So that is my weekender. My second work in progress, or whip if you will, is my Break and Tide Cowl by Neilan. And I haven't gotten tons and tons done on this because when I wasn't spinning, I was mostly working on my sweater because I really want my sweater. And we're kind of past the part of winter where I'd be able to wear this cowl. So I guess I'm not as motivated for it, but whenever I do work on it, I really, really enjoy it because the yarn is really beautiful and the pattern's fun and engaging. So this is my progress on my A Break and Tide Cowl by Neilan. I finished this modified fisherman's rib section, and I've got another modified garter stitch section, and then I think I have a slip stitch section, and then I think it goes to knitting it in the round. So I'm getting there, and it is fun to knit. I like the pattern. It's very engaging, and then the yarn is super lovely. This is a picture of the cowl. Again, it's called A Break and Tide Cowl. She also has a shawl, but beautiful, kind of textured knit. She wrote the pattern to be knit in 2 colors, but I am knitting it in 1 color, and how I'm just going along with the instructions for 2 colors by I separated my yarn so that I could just follow along the way the pattern is written. And that's been working just fine. Other things to mention about this, I need to get the yarn information to put in the description down below for you guys. I bought this yarn at a fiber festival. The people I bought them from only had 1 skein of each, so I don't really know if this yarn exists anymore, but it's a variegated, like a very subtly variegated suri silk. And I'm holding that double with this silk. I want to say this is a silk and merino yarn. I don't think this is 100% silk, but it's possible. I don't think it is though, but it definitely has like a silk sheen to it and drape and texture. So there's a lot of silk in it, even if it isn't 100% silk. So this is my A Break and Tide Cowl, super warm. Again, fun to knit, and it goes by fairly quick. It's also knit on size US 9s, 5.5 millimeter needles. The fabric is really soft and luxurious and lovely because of the silk and the suri. And I think this is going to be awesome next winter. Or if I finish it in time to wear it for a cold snap that we are certain to have towards the end of spring, I'll wear it for that. Because we usually have a cold snap in April or at the end of March. So this will be ready for me if I need it. Those are my 2 whips. I have been so incredibly monogamous in my knitting lately, and now I'm having some cast-on-itis. So I'll share with you a couple of ideas, 3 ideas that I have for potential cast-ons, but I'll also share with you my yarn. I guess this is my finished object. Maybe I spoke too soon, but maybe this is my finished object for this episode. All of the yarn that I spun for Spin Together. So I spun up a sweater's quantity of yarn in a week, which was my challenge for myself. This was spun up from Art Bats that I ordered from Artemis Yarns, and the colorway was Hedge Witch. Super, super fun. The yarn is really lovely. You can kind of see some of the purpley. There are little like shots of like purple and stuff in there. Yeah, and I am going to knit up a beautiful sweater using my hedge witch yarn. I have, ooh, how much do I have? I should probably have written this down for myself. I know I have over 400 yards of 3-ply, which should be fine for a cropped. It has stellina in it, and I'm like noticing the stellina poking out in a couple places, but I'll leave it alone. It's should be fine for the sweater pattern I had in mind. I was considering doing the Felix pullover by Amy Christoffers, and that's still what I'm leaning towards, so we'll see. I'll look up what size I want to do, look up the yardage required. It's possible that I'll need to add a little bit for like the cuffs and the hems and the neckline and things like that, but that's okay. I don't mind doing that, and I've got stuff in my stash that'll work just fine, including, I mean, like this guy would look really nice. This is yarn that I hand dyed using avocados, and I mean, that coordinates really nicely, so I might just do that. We'll see. Or I might do something with more brown in it. I do have some brownish stuff. This would be nice as well. That really echoes this brown that's in there, so we'll see. It's like a coppery brown. But I guess this is my finished object for the week. I spun up a sweaters quantity in 1 week, which I'm pretty pleased with. I've never done that before, so I'm pretty stoked. I met my spin together goals. That was good. So there's that yarn. Now to share with you guys some potential cast-on projects. And I realize I'm kind of like, I'm like whizzing through all of the information for today. Does it feel too fast-paced? I don't know. I guess because I don't feel like I have tons and tons to share, and the projects I'm showing you I've already talked about, I guess I'm just not really sharing as much information about them as usual, but that's okay. Maybe a shorter podcast is in order every once in a while. And I guess I do actually have things that I need to be doing. So maybe that's also in my mind. Maybe I'm thinking, oh, but I've got stuff I need to do. So I need to get through this. I don't know. I enjoy being here with you guys though, so I don't want to rush it. One of the things that I have been doing a lot this week is finishing up my dissertation publishing. I defended my dissertation in January, and I've done everything for graduation now. But I just had a few more things to do for like publishing, and then some emails to send to make sure that everybody's paperwork was where it needed to be, again, for graduation and stuff. So all of that's done now, which is great. I ordered the leather-bound copy of my dissertation, which is fun. Who knows if any of us will ever read it, but it'll be fun to have it on my bookshelf. So I was busy doing that this week, and then I have also been working on like business development stuff this week, and been seeing more patients lately too. What was the other thing? Oh, getting a new website for my business going. So creating a whole new website, especially when you offer a variety of services, like booking appointments, but also like digital services and then online trainings and like things like that. Apparently there's a lot that goes into making a website for that. So I've been working on that too, and it's taking up my time, but it's good. I'm kind of enjoying it. So one of the projects that I'm considering, this is one I'm a little on the fence about, but I kind of want to do it because it seems really fun. I've already knit 2 of this pattern. This is the Musso. I don't think I'm saying it correctly. The Musso by Espastrico. I downloaded it when it was a free pattern, but it's now available on Ravelry for like $7, $8, oh, $6, $6.73. US. It's $8.75 Canadian. It's this beautiful, like it's a yoked sweater, and it's knit with, I think, 2 strands of mohair held double. So it makes this very like airy kind of fabric, and it's just really lovely. And I've knit 2 of these. It's also knit on pretty big needles. US 8, so 5mm needles. I've knit 2. The first one I did in a boucle, and I knitted, it was so huge. I knit the size 3 because that's what I normally knit. And it's so huge. It does not fit me at all, like even a tiny bit. I thought maybe it would look cute and oversized or something, but I don't think that I'm gonna get away with that. So I need to see if either one of my relatives wants it and will wear it and enjoy it, or I might need to decide if I'm gonna rip out that entire sweater and reclaim the yarn. I don't know. It took a long time to knit that sweater, so I don't really want to rip it out, but we'll see. I did like the fabric that boucle yarn made. And when I made the sweater the second time, I made the size 1, and it fits perfectly. So I'm kind of considering knitting it again, the size 1 with shorter sleeves, and using this yarn. Isn't it the brightest? This is so cute. I've only got these 2 skeins though, so I need to look at the pattern and see, will this work with the yardage? This is a 100% superwash merino boucle DK weight yarn. It's 240 yards and 100 grams. This is the colorway Pajama Party. And it's by Remy's Roving and Yarn. And it's precious. You see all these little speckles? And I think that this would be the most fun cropped sweater. Like, oh my goodness. I think it'd be so much fun. And for springtime, oh my goodness. But cozy too, because it's boucle. Yeah, this says that it needs a whole lot more yardage than that. Oh, that's because it's mohair held double. So chop that number in half. Okay. So to knit like the full size version in the size 1, I would need about 750 yards. That's if I knit it full length with full sleeves. I have 480 yards here. I don't know. I might see. I already know I would need another skein of yarn. That's not really in question. I would definitely need another skein of yarn. But what I would probably do is I do the all of the hems, cuffs, all of that stuff in an accent. So it's really just choosing what 3rd skein of yarn to pair with this. Yeah, and I would just have like all of the cuffs and edges and things be a different yarn, not a boucle. It would be just kind of like a regular, like traditional kind of spun yarn. We'll see. I'll ponder. I have so much to choose from. This is me looking at all of my yarn, trying to figure out. I have more yarn over there that you guys can't see. I have lots of options though. So this is a potential project. I love the idea of having a bright neon pink sweater and in boucle with some speckles. Like, how incredibly fun is that? So that's an option. I'm kind of tossing around right now. We'll see. One thing I probably am going to do though, these are 2 crochet patterns. Well, one isn't really necessarily like a pattern, but the crochet projects. So I've been noticing I'm really cold lately, but I don't know why. It's getting warmer outside. My house is staying pretty much the same, but my temperature regulation is kind of wacky right now for some reason. So I don't really know what's going on with me and my body, but I'm cold a lot of the time. So I was thinking of crocheting myself a little blanket for my crafting area in my living room. And I haven't crocheted a blanket before. I've crocheted a whole bunch of garments and accessories and stuff, but I haven't actually crocheted a blanket yet. So are you even a crocheter if you don't crochet a blanket at some point? So I had actually purchased these 3 cakes. These are like jumbo cakes. Months ago. I don't think it was quite a year ago, but it was quite a while ago. And these are, I love pink and yellow. So that's why I purchased 3 of these, because they're amazing and pink and yellow. This is from Hobby Lobby, which I don't really buy yarn at Hobby Lobby very much, but I really, really loved this. So when I was at Hobby Lobby and I was like, I decided to look at their yarn and saw this and I was like, ooh, I really love that. That would be perfect for a blanket. So I bought it with the intention of crocheting myself a blanket. It's the Yarn Bee Sugar Wheel. I don't know if they have this color anymore. It's called Crocus in Focus. It's a 200-gram cake, 325 meters or 355 yards. It's 100% acrylic. And yeah, I really love these colors and I think they would make a lovely crocheted blanket. I'm kind of considering doing just like a granny stripe blanket because I really love the granny stitch. So that might just be what I end up doing. We'll see. But I really like this yarn a whole lot, and I think I also kind of want something a little bit, not instant gratification, because this is 600 grams of yarn. So it'll take me a bit to crochet a blanket. Like, I guess if this is all I was working on, maybe a week, but yeah, but a quicker project than what I have been doing. All of my projects have felt like they've taken a really long time lately. So I think that I would like to crochet this blanket up finally. Granny stripes sounds like a good option because these are kind of wider like stripes. So yeah, I kind of like the idea of doing a granny stripe. If you've got other ideas though, let me know. I had considered doing granny squares. I considered doing one gigantic granny square, like, you know, starting in the middle and just keep it going until you run out of yarn. And you end up with a square shaped blanket. I don't know if I want a square shaped blanket or if I want a rectangle. I don't know. So I'm open to suggestions. What do you guys think for my really chirpy yellow and pink blanket? And I'll probably choose some other yarn from Stash to crochet a border around the edges to kind of tie it all together and have a neat little border. I think that would be cute. My last potential cast on. I'm actually really excited about this. This is a sweater I've been wanting to crochet for like a year maybe. I considered doing it last summer and I just didn't get around to it. But this is the Ocean Breeze sweater by Grace for the Frills. I really like this sweater a lot. It's using double crochet, US terms double crochet. And look how cute it is. She has a cropped version and a tunicky length version. And it's crocheted with worsted weight yarn. It uses a 5mm or H hook. She did hers in cotton yarn. Look how cute that is. Oh, it went away. Where did it go? There we go. Now look at how cute it is. So cute. Yeah, I really love that. If I had a bunch of several skeins of like a worsted weight or even a fingering weight kind of lightly speckled or tonal yarn, then I would certainly love to do that, but I just don't. And I'm really emphasizing using my stash this year. So what I decided to do was just try to pull a whole bunch of coordinating skeins out of my stash to try to put something together to crochet this. And I did come up with a bit of a gradient, which is so fun. Okay, so how did I have these arranged? I think it was like this. Isn't this fun? These are all fingering weights, so I'll just hold them double to get a basically worsted gauge. It'll be like a DK or worsted gauge. If it's a little bit of an open sweater, that's okay, because I imagine this will be something I wear a lot in the spring and in the summer. And I think this is a beautiful, beautiful fade. We have this leftover Hobby Lobby yarn. This is the flamenco colorway. I don't think they have that. They might have it still. And then this one, I don't have the ball band for it anymore. It's got these beautiful speckles. This is a Malabrigo Ultimate Sock in the Neverland colorway. All of these are wool or wool blends. This is a recycled wool and tencel blend. This is by Nanette Wake Studio. It's a fingering weight, and it is pink pearl. Information if you'd like that. And then I don't have this ball band either. This one may not be super wash because the texture is a little different. I don't think that'll be a huge problem though. I have mixed superwash and non-superwash yarns together before while crocheting sweaters, and I have not really had it be a problem in particular. So I think it'll be fine. I think it'll be okay. What I'll do maybe is this will be, I'll use the least of this. So I'll probably I think it's a top down sweater. So I'll start this way, and this will be the very last color that I use. I really like that as a fade. I think that's really pretty. So that is something I am planning to start as soon as I'm done with my weekender sweater. I honestly almost started it before I was done with my weekender. I almost started it this past week because I just was really, really excited about the idea. And I was like, now is the time to make that sweater, because I've really, I guess, admired that pattern for almost a year now, and I just haven't made it. But maybe now is my time. So I think that I'm going to, I guess it's not cast on, I guess, is it chain on for that sweater? I'm not sure how you would say that. But I'm gonna start that project probably in the next week or so, because I think I can knock the sleeves out on my weekender in the next week. So that's really exciting. And in case you're wondering what I'm wearing, I guess I'll share that with you guys too. I knit this last spring, and I wore it to the Taylor Swift Eras concert last spring, which was amazing. This is my cloud bow. It was published in Pom Pom magazine. I think it was the spring 2023 or 2022 issue of Pom Pom magazine. It might have been the 2022 issue. And I knit mine all in suri alpaca silk, so I didn't hold it double or anything, and this is all just held singly. The white is just like a normal suri alpaca silk undyed, and then the stripes are Ching fiber, melted baby suri alpaca. This is very big, so I'll probably knit the next size down the next time I make one of these. I definitely plan to make more of them. I absolutely love this pullover. It's incredibly warm, even though the gauge is very light and airy. The suri really insulates effectively. So I really love this pullover. I wear it quite a bit. It is cropped. It's got this lovely kind of peplum sort of style to the bottom, and it is wonderful. So that's what I'm wearing today, but I knit this last spring. I think that's everything I really have to share with you guys. This is a much shorter episode than usual, and I hope that's okay. I know a lot of you have said that you really enjoy longer episodes, so I'm sorry if this one is disappointing in any way. Hopefully not. It's mostly just kind of a check-in about the progress on my things. I'm really looking forward to spring. I am super excited to have a full garden this year. I'm very motivated for gardening this year. I always kind of go into spring with like good intentions about gardening, and then they kind of like, I fall off the bandwagon a little bit. But this year, it feels different. This might be my year for gardening. I'm feeling super motivated about it. I bought some seeds for the garden, which I haven't really done in years. We'll see what happens to them. I don't know. Seeds are tricky, but we'll see what happens. But I'm excited for spring. I do like winter, but change is good too. So I'm happy to have a new season for the next few months. Are you guys working on anything in particular for spring, either gardening or cleaning? I am getting some spring cleaning going. I've started like cleaning out different areas of the house and decluttering things, and it's been super, super good. I'm a big fan of spring cleaning. And then other things, spring projects. So do you guys have any spring projects in mind for crochet, knitting, spinning, dyeing, what have you? I am really looking forward to a couple of spring sweaters, as you can see. And I'm already starting to think about warmer weather knits and crochets, I guess makes. Warmer weather makes. I've got some t-shirts that I want to do and some tank tops that I want to do, but it's the very beginning of March, so I'm going to knit a couple, well, I'm going to make a couple lighter sweaters first, maybe, and then I'll start getting into those like really warm weather makes. I think April, maybe, I'll pick back up my double take tee that I abandoned over the winter, and I'll finish that in April so that it's ready to go in like May and June. Although it might be finished in April because I've got basically half of it finished already, so that'll be good. And then I've got some other, like I said, tees and tank tops that I'm wanting to make as well. And I really want to crochet overalls. Oh my goodness, how could I possibly forget? I even purchased a pattern for it. I really wanted to make overalls last spring as well, but I did not, and I wonder. No, I think that yarn should go towards that sweater. Now I'm thinking, like, what yarn should I use for overalls? That might be a project that I will have to order yarn for. We'll see, because I might want to do something like a cotton linen blend, and I really just don't have that in stash. And for the overalls that I'm really wanting, I do kind of want them to be all one color. I don't really want to do a fade or anything like that. So I might not pull from stash for my overalls, but we'll see. I'll check everything that I have first, and then decide. But yeah, I think for overalls, I kind of think I don't want wool. I think I would get it too warm. I want to be able to wear them in the spring and in the summer. And in the southeast of the United States, it gets warm and muggy. So cotton might be better for that. I do wear wool tank tops and crop tops and things in the summer, and I have no problem with it at all, because wool is like it's a really great fiber for temperature regulation and things, and like wicking away sweat and kind of being self-cleaning, and so it's a really great fiber, but I wonder if I had overalls if that would be too much wool. We'll see. Have any of you knit or crocheted overalls before? If you are, I'm so curious. What was your experience? I think they're so cute. Yeah, that's happening. I totally forgot till just now. What in the world? Well, maybe I'll have more to share with you guys about that next time. But for now, I think that I will go ahead and wrap this up. It's a shorter one today, but I hope that you enjoyed. I will talk to you guys in another couple of weeks. And in the meantime, happy crafting. Bye.